Hey there. I am just getting ready to do a call. I've got a referral from one of my customers who wanted me to speak with someone that they knew. The name seems like Marty Matey. Hello there. Hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Computer audio. There we go. Hello?
Hello.
There we are. Okay.
There
How
we
are
are.
you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
All right. I can hear you.
Excellent. How are you, John? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Your name is Matey?
Maite, yes.
Maite.
Yes.
Maite. Where's that name from?
I was born in Mexico, but the name is not really Mexican either. So, yeah.
You're Mexican.
I am, yes.
Okay. And where do you live now, Maite?
In Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah. I've been living here for the past 23 years of my life. So, yes.
Do you have children?
I don't know. No, I'm just married.
Are you married?
Yes.
Ah, okay. And how old would you be?
I am 33.
33. And you're friends with Joe?
I am, yes. Yeah. I'm really good friends with him. I was introduced to him by another friend who in the martial arts circuit. And I teach the Wim Hof method and breathwork classes. So Joe came and it was just, such a great guy. So we just connected really, really well. And we're very good friends.
Very nice. And when did you do Wim Hof with Joe?
With Joe, I think it must have been about a year ago. I'd say. Yeah.
And how long have you been doing the Wim Hof?
I've been doing it for about 3 years now. Teaching it for about a year and a half, more or less.
Excellent.
But yeah.
And you like it?
Oh, I love it. Yes. Yeah. I'm really, really passionate about just anything that is breathwork related, anything that helps us, expand our comfort zones, that helps us tap into our nervous system and rewire it. And this is what the Wim Hof method has done for me and why I love it so much.
So you say when we tap into the nervous system, so as you're saying the parasympathetic nervous system,
mm-hmm.
and we do that by navigating deeper breaths.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
More conscious breaths?
Yes. So what the Wim Hof method kind of takes us into both the parasympathetic and the sympathetic both in the breathwork technique and in the ice bath. So basically we're giving our bodies a lot more flexibility in doing that. So we're bringing it to complete parasympathetic all the way up to sympathetic, back and forth, making our system very alkaline, very acidic, high heart rate, low heart rate, and so on. And in so doing, our nervous system kind of finds it's at the ideal midpoint. And so it does that with the breathing technique, but also with the cold exposure, helped by the breath, of course. So yeah.
So by holding the breath, we change the carbon dioxide inside the body, and therefore making the body more acidic. And then by hyperoxygenating that, we're more creating that massive alkaline state inside of the body. So changing the body's inner chemistry by navigating breath.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. And and not only that, we also through the breath holds and whatnot, we release a lot of dopamine in our system.
Brain neurotransmitters are stimulated, so even the endorphin or the serotonin and dopamine, so like restoring even happy centers of the brain and stimulating and triggering the happy centers of the brain. so that we can have happier, healthier days.
That's it, exactly. And just training our body to go there on a natural basis. Just, kind of carving out that neural pathway every time we do it, getting there faster, getting to that point of, release of dopamine and serotonin and endorphins on a natural way, just faster every time, and teaching our body, this is how you do it, right? And that it's available all the time. So, yeah.
So the body sort of relaxes into starting to remember and breathe normally again, and realizes that this is actually natural and this is how I am. And you come to know that your nature is of not such a heightened fight or flight sort of situation that we're normally in, where we are reactive to life all of the time.
That's it.
Now we're more self-aware, more conscious, and more able to interact with our life with choice rather than.
Exactly. And something that's it's very interesting is that also both the breathing and in the cold exposure, we release stress hormones. So we release adrenaline, we release cortisol. And yet it's very helpful to do that, because right after it's followed by like really deep breaths, really like unusually deep breaths, unusually profound breaths. So it teaches our system, okay, when you feel this cortisol, adrenaline, this is how you breathe, right? And so you go into that place very, very automatically, as opposed to having to remember when you're really stressed or when, there's shit going on, to just kind of go there automatically, as opposed to having to remember, which oftentimes you don't or don't want to. So it just goes there very automatic. You're in that situation and this is how you breathe. And it translates from just the breathing exercises or an ice bath. So we do the same thing in the ice bath. In the ice bath, the natural response that you want to do is very short, shallow breaths, very, and instead we override that. We go into really slow, really long, deep breaths, long exhales, overriding that urge. And so again, the more you do it, the more your body goes, oh, okay, this is when we're in any kind of stressful situation, this is how we breathe. And so next time you're stressed for work, for whatever it is,
you relax, you take a deeper breath instead of going into your panic, shallow breathing that you go and you go unconscious, and then you start just reacting to your world. And your world never changes this way.
Absolutely, exactly.
Most people are going through their world.
They're not using our resources. We're not aware. We get tunnel vision. We cannot really respond. All we're doing is reacting on a very survivalistic sense, as opposed to actually responding to what we have at hand, right?
So then we're not creating our lives at all this way.
Absolutely.
We're just unconsciously creating our life
in a sleep, in a slumber. Cues from the environment to send us one way to another, as it will, as opposed to taking charge of our response and choosing consciously where we want to go. What is our train of action going to be?
That's so brilliant, so brilliant. So do you teach these classes, or?
I do, yes. Yeah, I run a Wim Hof method workshops, but once a month or sometimes twice a month. And yeah, so I do the Wim Hof method. I'm an instructor for the Wim Hof method. And also I'm an instructor for another modality called transformational breath. It's also very, very helpful. It's a little bit more on the emotional side, on rewiring our emotional response. For me, the Wim Hof method is a very physical side of it. Transformational for me has been much more of the emotional releases, the emotional conditioning, the emotional just responses that we have, again, completely unconscious, and bringing up through the breath, what's constricting us, sometimes we know it, sometimes we don't, but essentially every time we have a very strong experience, call it trauma, call it emotional pain, whatever it is, we hold our breath. I mean, in a very physical sense, if you were to hit yourself right now up against the wall, you'd go, and you hold your breath, and we keep holding our breath. Somebody scares us, we hold our breath. we're little and we're trying not to cry, we'll hold our breath. Even laughter is not appropriate. We're constantly holding our breath. And what that creates is this very restrictive patterns, dysfunctional patterns, even as we go through life, that kind of trap all those emotions. And it's just the best we could do at the time. But of course, that is restricting our very physical being and also our emotions, because then we're taught it's not safe to go there. It's not safe to go to those places. And so with this other modality, what I help people do is open up those restrictions and allow the emotions.
Shadow work, releasing the
Correct.
shadow.
Yeah,
Shadow work.
exactly.
Yes,
Allow
I
it
love
to come
that. I
up
love that. I love
and
what
know
you're
that
doing.
it's safe.
So are you doing this like you have a location where you do ice baths and stuff like that?
Yeah. So the Wim Hof workshops, I normally do I have a friend of mine who has a lounge. He has a organic restaurant on the top floor. On the bottom, he has a lounge, and so I do them there. So they're about 4.5 hours or so. So I do the ice baths there, well, the whole workshop, and we do the ice bath there. And then
And how many people can go in the ice bath?
I do them one at a time. So normally the workshops are 15 people or so, max. And then so it's one person at a time, because I need to be with them. I need to be coaching them, each one individually. So yeah.
And then the other people, they watch while this is happening?
Yeah, so they're doing a warm-up exercise before they go into the ice bath that they do before and after. So they're doing that while it's about a 2-minute ice bath, 1 to 2 minutes. And then they get out, they continue warming up, and it's the next person.
So, and then you also do like this workshop, maybe like about the emotional stuff and the shadow energetic releases and
Yes.
trauma, overcoming trauma and stuff. So
Yeah.
you have a location. Do you do that at the same location, or is that another workshop?
No, well, I used to do them at the same location, but since they turned it into a lounge, just environment, it's okay for the Wim Hof method, but for just deeper stuff, I didn't find it that great. So no, now I'm doing them at a yoga studio in North York, and at another one on
Like a hot studio, like a hot,
yeah.
in a hot room.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a normal room. They turn it down.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I do it there, and then
With
I do.
music?
Yes, yeah. It's kind of an immersive, and we go deep. It's about the actual breath work routine takes about an hour and a half or so, and we go deep into that. And then there's the actual work, what came up, what didn't, etc. And and that one I do either at North York or on DuPont and Bathurst there. Yeah.
Now, do you ever do like a retreat, or do you ever do like?
It is on my plans this year to start doing that. Definitely. Well, actually, right now I'm going to Cabo to help a friend out with a retreat that she's holding, and but yeah, it's definitely in my plans to start doing.
You would like to do a retreat like that?
Yeah.
And share that those experiences over a weekend kind of thing, like a weekend event.
Yeah.
I would love to do a weekend event like that too.
Yeah. I find it so much more powerful when you're immersed, for a longer period of time.
Yes, 3 or 4 days. I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's my favorite thing to do for building up energy, doing our own personal work, releasing our own emotional stuff. And when you're doing it for yourself, it puts you in such a wonderful space energetically. And collectively, everyone feeds off of everybody else's collective positive energy.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
I think that's wonderful. I would love to collaborate with you on something to do like this.
Yes, no, I'd love to. Tell me about what you do. I see that you have that you're a personal trainer, correct?
Yeah, I do fitness and wellness, and I tell people that in order to heal your life or lose weight or make a change of any kind, it really means being more conscious of what you're doing, conscious of how you're eating, conscious of how you're moving, conscious of how you're thinking, conscious of what's going on in your day. If you want to really be more happy and healthy, you want to raise up your frequency and your vibration. Now, you
Yeah.
do that with exercise. And the big part of exercise is that exercise stimulates your body to breathe.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
the awareness of breath that we need. You can be more aware when you're exercising. You can be more aware of your breathing when you're driving to work. You can
Yes.
have more consciousness anytime in your life.
Yeah.
And the way that we cultivate more consciousness is by practicing being more conscious. And the best practice for being more conscious is meditation,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
focusing on your breath. So that's mindfulness or breath work and mindfulness. I mean, the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree watching his breath. That's mindfulness. That's where mindfulness origin is. It's
Yeah.
what the Buddha taught,
Yeah.
right? So mindfulness, meditation is quieting the mind, coming out of the mind, coming into the space, the quiet space, the still space, the spirit space, our
Yes.
highest frequency, our greatest self, our very best effort. And if we meet more of our life with our greatest self, we'll just find our life just improves in every single way.
Absolutely. And then it's not effort. It's not having to push through, trying to bang up against the
You're not trying to
wall.
make it happen. It's
Oh,
happening because you are vibrating at
at
the level. Your vibe is your life, is what is your tribe. You creating your tribe from your vibe. Yeah, what vibration you're putting out. And if you can raise up your vibration with
yes.
exercise and food and breath and mindfulness, mindful thought. And so it's a practice. It's a practice of exercise. It's a practice of nutrition. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you have to be putting the scale more in your favor, of being more in the type of energy that I want to,
That's it.
than
Yeah.
being in the reactive energy space.
Yeah.
That's a
Absolutely.
practice. That's a habit. That's a rehearsal. That's a change of mind. That's a choice. That's a decision. That's a focus. It's a self-awareness. All of these things are accomplished best with stillness and meditation and mindfulness and breath work and exercise and nutrition. I mean, it's all foundational stuff. This is how a person changes their life.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that bringing that awareness, like from your body to your breath to your actions to everything that's around you, your
From
environment.
couch to your best.
Yes, absolutely. For
That's what's
sure.
going on. That's what this world needs, is a program to take people from the couch to their very best. And that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
The body can heal. The body can change. The greatest self has not yet been
Sure.
attained.
Yeah, our bodies are so amazing and so adaptable and just so powerful. The bigger challenge we have is that we're not giving them enough of a reason to be like to step out of that comfort zone, to have that challenge, to trigger those adaptability mechanisms that we're born with, that we've evolved with, to actually create the best possible
To
life
be
that
manifestors, to be creators, to really create the life of our dreams that we want.
absolutely. Yeah, 100% agree.
Mm-hmm. This is it. This is it. So, I mean, I love what you're doing. I love what you're talking about. And I think when you bring, especially even to masculine and feminine energy, like when you bring it together, that is
Yes,
inspiring.
for sure. And it's very powerful. It's very
Mm-hmm.
powerful to bring the two together. For
Right,
sure.
right.
Yeah, I'd love to collaborate with you on. I'm having a Wim Hof workshop on the 25th. If you'd like to come.
So I could
Yeah,
also bring some people to that, or
yeah. By all means, for sure.
I should come and experience it myself first, and we could meet there and we could talk about some
Of
of
course,
it.
for sure, definitely. Yeah, I'll send you the link and the info. Yeah, it'd be great if you could experience it, and and then we can see how we
And it's
can.
great training for me. So when are you doing it? The 25th?
25th, yes.
Nice. So would that be like, I feel like that's a Tuesday or a Monday?
Saturday. No, it's a Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. And it's an afternoon?
It's morning, afternoon. It's from 10 to 2:30.
I always teach on Saturday until 11, unless I could sneak out after my morning one Saturday, just do a morning early, leave at 9. I'd have to close up my shop a little early.
Right.
But I love this plan. So please send me the information. And if I could not, then we'll be talking about it in some other fashion or
Yeah,
form.
for sure.
Because
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We can
yeah,
definitely work something out.
yes. Very nice.
Yeah, yeah, I really love connecting with people that are, that are on that same wavelength and that have the same, purpose. It's there's so much power in, coming together with a similar purpose and a similar intention to make, just create something better. Yeah,
Yeah, to make some magic. That's right. Right,
absolutely.
because you're bringing forward light, you're bringing forward love, and when you're bringing forward light and love, the only thing that can come of that is magic.
That's it. Yeah, correct.
Right. So if you bring that intention together, and especially if you bring masculine and energy and feminine energy together with that intention, then nothing but magic can happen from that.
Absolutely, for sure.
Right.
Yes.
Awesome. I love to speak and be around people like that as well too, because it just lifts me. So
Yeah, yeah, of course. And it's just staying in that vibration, right? It's staying in that
yes,
energy. Yeah, that's the
right.
life that you're creating. So you want the people around you to be at that same vibration. I get it. Yeah.
Hmm. Awesome. Okay, Mighty. So we will be in touch further.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll send you the link if you can make it. Awesome. If not, we'll figure something out.
Yes, we'll figure out the next thing.
For sure. Absolutely.
Okay, what's next for us? Nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too, John. Pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Soon. Bye.